Hello guys, thanks for having me here. So my name is Yves. I work at ERNE. ERNE is a 110-year-old family-owned Swiss construction company. So we have around 1,000 employees, so not that small as Peter mentioned, with about 8. So a little bit bigger. It's actually it's not a company, or just one company, it's a group. So we have timber, it's one company, and we have also a normal construction company, and I'm based in this normal construction company. We have around 500 employees in this construction company. And yeah. Different than the others before, I will not show you a project. I will tell you something about what we are facing and what we are doing and how the infrastructure is in Switzerland and what are the problems with integration of VDC and what are our learnings so far. So some guiding principles. So our company has some guiding principles. That means innovation by tradition. So, as I told before, we are a family-owned company. We don't want to grow like crazy. So we want like a healthy grow company. And also the digitalization not at any price. I will come back to that later. Market. According to my experience, more and more tenders there are on the market with 3D models in it. So 2 out of 10. So 20%. There are more and more BIM and IPD design build projects or tenders out on the market. And also the state-owned and the state-related companies had signed or defined a strategy. Then they will, by year 2025, only made BIM VDC projects. So they will not do all the projects like the old way. And this also helps the companies or people like me who works in companies to bring new innovations and implement new styles or new ideas. Two very interesting or big things that we are facing every time is an execution company as we are. We came only at the end of the process. So the project is already set up, everything is clear. Most of the time also the platforms and all the tools are defined. And we came there and then, we have to deal with that. Then the second one is the use cases. We want economic use cases. So there are a lot of different use cases like using VR, AR. Make that sense, or is this just like nice to have? Because the economic thing, it's important for us. So what I can say additionally to that is this economic approach or idea. It's also important to find the best tools, and also I told before that we are involved at the end of the project. So we have to define use cases that make sense for us, because I would say 50% of the projects that we do are not officially BIM or VDC projects. So we go, or if we get the project, then we go to the engineer, for example, and the architect, and we ask them, hey, let us try some use cases in BIM. And we show up with these use cases. These use cases has to be economical for us, because otherwise it would be stupid if we go there and say, hey, let's change that, and then we have to pay more at the end. So that's why this economic thing is very important for us. So we have 4 different approaches. The goals for the futures, let's say. We want to use new project delivery methods, because we want to avoid that we are only late in the project. So we are very focusing on design, build, and IPD, and we already started some first pilot projects on that, because we see there it's the future for the construction industry in Switzerland. And also, but it's not shown here, we have also a development part or a division in our group, and we want to force also the work with them, because then we have also something to say in the project and not only the guys who has 2 weeks time to set up the construction site. Then the second one is collaboration with startups, so screening the market and see what new technologies or new ideas are on the market. So we check and see and try things out. We have budget to do that. That's very nice. Then the red one marked, it's process, hardware, and software. So define process, hardware, and software that works for our company. And then the last one, yeah, we do pilot projects to test the use cases to get the information if they are economic or not. 2 big questions. So it's like also like an agenda. I will first go to the digital construction side, and then I will go to the calculation part. So big question is, how do we get the 3D models to the construction site? And one problem is, normally we have models from the architect, but they are not buildable. So they are nice, they're looking like it should be, but they are not buildable on the construction site. That's one. The second point is, how can the people on construction site work with or work model-based? So what do they need? What do we have? What do we have to offer? What can we say the subcontractor has to bring that? These are questions that we have. And then additionally, also we get a lot of models, but the models are very bad, poor. And, but we see a benefit in working with the models. So what can we do that we still can work with the models? So digital construction sites, so some facts. We currently have 10 digital construction sites ongoing in Switzerland. So the half is like I told before, we asked the engineers or the architects if we want to try BIM on this project. They are not official. So around 5 are mentioned as BIM projects, let's say it like this. And we have our own draftsman as an execution company. That's not very common, but we have that because we have to, or we find out that we have some use cases that we really can use the 3D model, but the 3D model that we get is not there yet. So we had to decide what we want to do, and then one thing was we hired own draftsmen that they will do the models for us that we can use it on construction site. It's a bit a strange thing, but at the moment it has to be like this because otherwise we could not use this 3D models on construction site. Then we have our own surveyor team built up also in the construction company because yeah, we like to work with the 3D models and we want to get the maximum out of that. And so we do the stakeout and everything with the 3D models, and then we can do it by our own. And we have 2 software developers. That's also something that's, that we need to have. I will come back to this later. Then here you can see some use cases that we tested, and then also the decision if they are economical or not. So if you can see collaboration with a cloud platform, that's economical, yeah. That makes sense for us, so we invest in that, we go for that. Then, yeah, I guess documentation with drones, photogrammetry. It makes some projects, they make sense, and some projects, they make no sense. And it's really different. Some projects want that, some projects do not want that. So then we have to decide if we want to do it for us, and then we have to decide, is it economical enough to do it? Because if you have only 1 floor and the roof is on it, so what can we do with drones? So it's over. So that makes no sense there. Then also the other one, model-based installation of rebars. We do that, but we found out that the foreman has, we have some metrics to measure the foreman. It's about time and quality, and we checked that, and it was roughly the same as without doing it model-based. So the big benefit for this use case is from the engineer, because he has not to draw the plans anymore, but not for the execution company, because they have to train first the foreman and also the subcontractor, and then they get the same results as before. Maybe a little bit better, but it's not worth the economical thing. So it really depends on the project. If there's something complex, then it makes sense. But if it's like new flats, then we don't use it and don't do it. Then what I can a little bit summarize. So we have defined our processes and we have defined our software and hardware already. So we know how we do it, and we train our employees and subcontractors at the start of the project. And then we also have ICE meeting in the start of the project, because we want to speak about how, first we have to define how we work together. Then we want to define what information are needed for the guys on the construction side, and the engineer has to be in the same room because he has to put this information into the model. And then we also discuss about things like the sectioning of the model, the concrete sectioning, with the foreman. The foreman will also be part of this meeting, and then they will discuss with the structural engineer if there is maybe a possibility to make it easier and make it more efficient to build it. And yeah, you can see we have to master the interfaces. So what we did is we set up our whole processes for the digital construction site based on Trimble Connect. And our software developer did small tools. And we do not care in which platform the program is set up, the project is set up. We have our own, let's say, small programs, and they put everything in Trimble Connect so that we can work with it. Then, poor 3D models on the market. Why do we need 3D models? As you here see, for example, that's one model that we get. They have different, one is sea level 0, and the other is the effective sea level, so it's 400 meters difference in Switzerland. And now, what can you do with that? So, nothing. So, visualization. We found out that the visualization is a very important thing for the guys on construction site, because it helps a lot to understand what they have to do. Because plans, most people understand plans, but a lot not. And sometimes it's very easy to see the model, and then you get a hint and know how it should look like. Then benefits for other use cases. So we do use cases like site installations also in 3D, 4D simulations, stages. For all these use cases, it's good if you have a visualization, then you can talk about that and you can use it for, we use, for example, 4D simulations for when we make an offer. So we made like a 4D simulation additionally. It's also like a little bit marketing, to be honest, but yeah. And quantity takeoff is faster if you have a model, or you can at least check it. So you can check if that what you get out, it's maybe is possible, or maybe you missed something. And we can automate processes. So that's something that we tried calculation. I will come to that back later. And in Switzerland, you have a little bit of problem with skilled labor. So you will not find enough people we have very big problems to find guys who are in digital work or who are BIM peoples, and so we have to automate to have not a problem with that. Here, poor 3D models on the market. So I try to show a little bit how is the process or the flow, what we do with this model. So. Normally the project starts, or the offer phase starts. Then we start with an internal model or an external model. So we decide at the beginning, do we have a model? Yes or no? And then makes it sense to draw one, yes or no? And if we say yes, then we draw it. Then we have an internal model. If we have an external one, then we check it. How is the quality? Is the quality good? If not, then we we call it up-inform. So we have like a tool. We found a tool from Germany. It's called DSite. And there you can override or add information to an IFC. And there it's also possible to make scripts for automatization. So there is a interface, I guess, from Java. I'm not sure if it's Java or something else. And then you can script, and that is something that we did. So we made let's say we made our own piece set, or the program defines our own piece set. So we let the script, we start the script over the IFC, and then we get out the information. If the informations are on the right place according to the IFC standard, then they will take out the information and put it in the IFC in our own piece set. And then we will export that, and the idea is when we export that, that the guys from calculation can easily handle that and do not have to change all the, or have to look up for all the informations because they are in different places, and it's sometimes confusing because they are not on the right place. So just short go through this. We do it quality control, say it's good, yes or no. If yes, we do it up-inform. If no, we redraw it. Then we automated an application, like a script, as I told you before. Then we make an export or IFC, and then we load the IFC directly into the calculation software. And this generating our own piece sets allows us to automate the process, because the informations are always on the same point or on the same information based. So we can automate that and make it very fast. And sometimes we do also export it to Excel. And then we gave it to the calculation, and then they calculate with the model. Achieved so far, we create buildable models, so we can create them. I guess that will not be the future. I guess that's just something that we do now because the market is not there yet. We can do 4D simulation. We can build outside model-based, so we have only models on construction site, and we can build with them. We can calculate based on models. So we have the whole structure built up for the detailed calculation for based on models. We did some first step with VR, AR. 3D machine control is also something that we did. And this is also working very well. And we started our first IPD and design build projects. And as a summary, we're still in transformation, so there's still different things going on, or we have to scale up things. And, but I guess we are positioned for the future. As I told at the beginning, by year 2025, we have to make it like this. So I guess we are ready for this. And outlook, I guess these new project delivery methods will change the market and also made a little bit more, or give a push to all this VDC thing. And more projects will become model-based in the future in Switzerland. And as I said, the state-owned and state-related companies by 2025 will only tender that. And I guess this VDC BIM project will become everyday projects. Yeah, that's all.